That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So, sticky and horrible. So yeah, yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Good afternoon all. How are we all? Hope you're all well. Thanks for coming over and joining us on a absolutely scorching hot Sunday afternoon. It's warm in here, very warm in here. 28 I believe, something like that. So yeah, she's warm. So anyway, as the title said, basic bowl turn today. I know we have quite a lot of newbies in the chat, and I thought it'd be nice just to do something specifically for those.
Again?
What do you mean again?
You done it the other week.
No, I didn't. So basically just go through techniques, tool control, all that sort of stuff. If there's any questions, make sure you stick your questions in the chat. As always, there's no such thing as a stupid question, and we are here to help each and every one of you and ourselves as well. So the knowledge sharing is the critical part of the way we all hopefully run our lives. So I have a piece of birch here. No, beech even, not birch, beech. It's got a little bit of spalting in it, so I'm hoping that the spalting's going to come through it. So this is going to be our bottom, and this will be our top, because this is the most plainer side, and I want the actual spalting on the outside, not the inside. So, as always, 52mm Forstner bit, and we're going to just get some basic shapes on it, and we're just going to talk about how to present the tool, the different parts of the tool, and moving on from there. So I'll get this mounted on the lathe, and Nick will welcome you all in.
Good afternoon, everybody. So we have Wood Wizardry by Colin, Sid's Repurposing, Dr. Bob. I reckon it's going to get a high of 39 today.
In America, that is.
Colin said that's nice and cool. It's 23 indoors and 28 outdoors at the moment. That's 28 in this workshop at the minute.
28.
Doug Miller at Woodspun Around is on. Brian at Woodturning. Joe Senior. Chris Dodds. Oh, it's jumped up again. Got to be an easier way to do this. Colin Izzard, Brian with a Y. Ward Wilson, howdy from the west coast of Arizona. Terry Bartlett from Plymouth Woodturners. Barry's Wood Creations. Wedge Woodworks. Michelle.
Osby.
What is it?
Osby.
No,
Osby.
Osby, innit?
People with these strange names.
The Wood Dude, YV Woodshed, Ian Cook, Eric Winkler, can't remember, I said Tenant Glen Cove Woodworks. We also have Radar the Wood Turner. Would do said who else but me's turning naked today.
I don't think that'd be very good for the channel.
It's bad enough seeing Steve's legs, isn't it?
Oh, thanks for that. What's your name, Ben?
Hawking Owls is on. David J. Heath, the Guildford Carpenter. Todd said too hot in teas to turn anything, Stephen. Might burn some body parts. Jennifer's Craft Creations. Steve Hale. John McDonald. Not heard him before. Good morning, all. Amy's on. Hi, Amy. Terry's on. Hope you're doing well, Terry. Scott Dunn. I want to make stuff. Woodworm Paul. Dara's on as well. Like I say, if I've missed anyone, just put in it at the bottom. Adam, I love wood turning.
A lot of people in tonight. Oh,
yeah, considering how hot it is.
That's what it is. They're all inside, out of the heat.
Paul Finley wood turning at home. Brian at Heart wood turning's on.
Oh, Brian.
He says he's been busy creating his thumbnail before I shout at him. I wouldn't do that, Brian. Steve Fleming's on.
Oh, yes, she would, Brian.
Stephen Gordon. Right, I'm going to leave it there because I've not got to go back through to the top. So, welcome everyone. Like I say, if I've missed anyone, just shout out at the bottom and I will give you a shout out.
Right, so welcome everybody. Thank you very much for coming over. So, because this is fairly flat, normally I flatten the bottom off of this. Because it's fairly flat, I'm not going to bother. So, the first thing I'm going to do is find a centre. And then we're going to put a mortise in the bottom there. So, find our centre first. Put it on the camera so you can see it. It already helps, doesn't it? So, centre hole for our mortise. Then we're going to go, the jewels I use are 52mm. So 26mm. So what we're going to do now is use a parting tool to just create our mortise.
Vince Kerrigan's on as well.
Right, Vince. I'm only going to make my mortise about 3mm deep. So what we're going to use now is a 3/8 bowl gouge just to clean that out.
Colin said that's a great camera angle.
Thank you, Colin. So I'm just going to use a scraper now, or a skew, should we say? And I'm just going to put a little bit of a taper on the inside wall of that, just so my chuck jaws hold a little bit better. Don't need to be a lot. A nice flat. So that's our mortise, like I say, only about 3mm deep, don't need to be really deep. So what I'm now going to do is get a bit of shape on this. We're going to curve this around so we get that natural curve around our bowl. And what we're doing is we're going to do some push cuts and some shear cuts. So push cuts is obviously pushing. Shear cuts is using this edge here as a cutting blade. If you hold it so it's hitting the wood like that, it's classed as a scraping cut. We want a shear cut, so you want to hold it at an angle so we're actually slicing the wood over the top of that edge there. So handle nice and low, and we're using that as a cutting. As you can see, there's ribbons kind of. If we hold it like that, it'd just be lots of little tiny bits, which is a scrape. We want to cut. So we're going to do some shear cuts. So using that edge as a blade rather than a scraper.
So Dr. Bob said it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit in Detroit now with a high of 84 this afternoon. Time to go sailing on the Detroit with my friends and have a picnic on Belle Isle. Enjoy, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, enjoy, mate.
Barry's Wood Creation said that looks a nice piece of spalted beech.
Yeah, it does look a nice piece of wood. We'll find out.
Bailey Woodworks is on.
Hi, baby. How you doing?
I want to make stuff. What's the veg of the day, Nikki? None. Well, I'm preparing veg for the rabbits. That's it. Steve's doing pizza. Steve is making pizza. I repeat, Steve is making pizza. Aren't you, love?
Yeah, I'm doing it on the barbecue though.
We've got a pizza thing on our barbie, so we're doing that this afternoon. Steve Fleming said that's a nice clear picture.
Thank you.
We've got so the veg for the rabbits is cabbage and carrots. I bought them some apples as well. AGK Woodworks is on.
Good afternoon.
He's in the background finishing his goblet.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we look forward to seeing that. Right, so push cut. We're now going to do a couple of push cuts just to go around that curve a little bit more. So we want to be riding our bevel until we find a cut. So riding our bevel, then we're just going to lift our handle until we get that cut. And then we're going to feed it around gently. Don't need to apply any pressure. Let the tool do the cutting. And then we're just going to let that ride round to continue that curve. Like I say, if you've got a nice sharp tool, you don't need to push it. The tool will virtually feed itself round. So let's go on overhead so you can see a bit better. So we're presenting our tool handle low, riding the bevel, and then just gently lifting the handle up until we get that bite. And then depending on how big a cut you want, depending on how high you lift the handle up really. So you can take some nice big cuts off, or if you lift the handle really high, you can take some more aggressive cuts, but we don't want aggressive cuts. We want a nice feather cut in there. So we just got a little bit of a bulge in there. So I'm just going to do a couple of shear cuts just to try and get that little bit of a curve on there.
Terry said, is Steve making pizza or take them out the freezer and hitting that? No, we're actually doing from base to making our own bases. Got all the toppings.
It's all about the base. So some nice gentle shear cuts just to give me that shape we want.
Misha said that's you told Steve Brian's doing the barbecue tonight. Michelle ought to tag in something I found on Facebook. Says about men saying they're having barbecues. Girls are doing good. Well, sort of. Amy. Casey's just finished college. Just got to decide what she's going to do next year. But unfortunately, she's got a bite on her leg. I had to take it to A&E this morning to have that looked at because it's all blistered. So she's currently on the sofa with her leg raised up and trying to catch up on some sleep. Feeling a bit sorry for herself, isn't she? But it does look horrible.
Oops.
And Chloe's getting excited because they're buying their first house. So things are moving a bit slow, but that'll come in good time. Thank you for asking.
All right, so that's what we've got now. I think I might have a hunk out of that. There's another flat spot on there. So we've got another flat spot on this, so I'm just going to take a small push cut out of that, just to hopefully get rid of that flat spot.
Steve Fleming says Steve will be doing cooking soon, videos soon. Yeah, right. Turning by Barry's on.
Hi Barry, how are you? Hope you're recovering after your operation. Right,
Yeah,
so
I think it was a horsefly, Colin. I got bit quite a few years ago now, and I had a massive blister like on mine. It was horrid. So much so I was using crutches to walk on because it was so painful. But yeah, she's suffering, so got to the doctor straight away at the hospital we went.
right, so we've got a shape. They're going to sand this up to 240 grit. Because it's a piece of spalted, I'm not going to put no colour or anything on it. Start from 120 up to 240. Put the extraction on.
Barry said he is home now.
Good, good. Don't want to be in that hospital as long as you possibly, you don't want to be in there too long, do you? Always think you get a better recovery when you're at home. Actually, I might put some oil on this rather than waxing this. I might oil this. Seems that's a nice bit of wood. Alright, so just do the centre. Like I say, you haven't got to do your mortise this shallow. You can do it a bit deeper if you feel a bit more confident doing it deeper. So that's 120, 180. If I put oil on it, I'll have to sand it up to 400. What do you reckon, Nick? Oil or wax?
Yeah, oil.
Always use wax, don't I? Something different for a change. So I'm going to put oil on it. I'll have to sand up to 400.
screen keep going off? You have to sort this.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't sort of saying what's going wrong, can I? I don't know if that's because the bottom one's. I don't know if there's a graphics card in the computer or whether it's the screen. Really, perhaps you unplug that bottom one and see if it makes any difference.
Colin said he just got a box from English Wood, some real nice pieces. Eric
Nice.
said, don't forget to send your pictures of your goblet.
Yes, I've had quite a few already, to be honest. So
Wood Dude said, oil, wax, anything but Yorkshire grits. I can't find my ear defenders. Adam said, wax on spalted. Brian says, wax. Joe said, she's not singing. Colin said, try the burnishing oil, Steve. It'll make your shop smell lovely too.
I used some of that this morning on a piece I did this morning. Right, wax it is then. Wax it is then. Everybody seemed to say wax. It's a nice piece of wood. Right, so just going to blow the dust out of it. Oh, there's a couple of wormholes in there. Bugger me.
No, you just said worms, not bugs.
Can't believe that. There's a couple of little tiny wormholes in there. Right, so sand and sealer. Cellulose sand and sealer. Thin 60/40. So it's nice and thin. A couple of decent coats. So it soaks into the wood. To seal that wood. To get a nice sheen on our wax. I can hear that fan through your microphone.
Tough. I ain't getting hot.
Well, don't get hot.
Wait a minute, I'll change it over. Just a minute.
Fans get cold.
I don't suppose that's any better.
No, not really. That'll be alright. You could turn it off. No, I'm joking. I can only just hear it. Can't hear it very much. So I'm going to just let that dry. I'm going to denib it. And then I'm going to give it another coat. So just fire this up. Just run a Scotch Brite over this to denib this. Just to take that grain off the top, and then we're going to give it another coat. That's worse, Nick. Change it back to the other one. Please.
What?
I can hear the wind blowing over the mic now.
You can't now.
No, I can't now. What was your sleep? Was it you breathing? Was that what it was?
No, I was how I was sat.
Oh, right. Right. Sand and sealer. So we're going to get coat Yorkshire Grit now. Yorkshire Grit Original. So Yorkshire Grit Original. So nice generous coat over our piece first. Without the tissue, always helps. Start our lathe about 400 RPM, between 400 and 500 RPM. That's a bit fast, Steve. And we're just going to gently work in this to take us up to about 1,000 grit. So spend a couple of 3 minutes rubbing this in to get the best out of the paste. You're very quiet today, Nicola.
I was trying to find that post, but I can't find it. John McDonald said, I hope it went a botfly bite. What's a botfly?
Alright. I don't think it was anything nasty. I think it was just a case that she had it a couple of weeks ago, or a week or so ago, and that started going down and also has come back.
Steve Fleming said, I didn't know you put sand and sealer on before oiling.
I'm not oiling, mate. I'm waxing now.
Todd said they have fire ants in southern USA and their bite is very wicked.
God. Red ants are bad enough, let alone fire ants.
Benjamin said, Nikki, there are rules employers have to follow about comfortable working conditions. I'd have a word with HR.
Yeah, make an appointment.
He's got to start paying me, I think.
God, Jesus.
John McDonald said it's a tick-tick fly. Never heard of him. Todd said, of course, once you've been bitten by the wood-turning bug, it becomes an expensive journey. Brian said, don't be looking at botfly on the internet, Nikki.
You know she's going to now.
Wouldn't do that.
Right, so that's sanded up to around about 1,000 grit now. So as Yorkshire grit's not a finish, it's only an abrasive paste, we need to put a finish over the top of that. So I'm going to put over the top of that some Hampshire Sheen microcrystalline wax.
Hampshire Sheen microcrystalline.
No, I'm not. I'm putting high gloss actually.
Make your mind up.
I know, it's a bit. I think the heat's getting to me. So a nice coat, not too much. Don't need to put loads over it. Just a thin coat is enough.
Did you see that thing I tagged you in
For
on Facebook
which one?
about the barbecue?
Yeah.
I can't find it. Can you tag Michelle in it?
Yeah, when I finish the live. Right, so that's the first coat. So we'll just get a clean bit of cloth and buff that out. I'm going to give this a couple of coats just to bring up that sheen.
Can't believe all you people are here on a hot day like today.
They didn't know sat beside their pools watching.
Oh, John McDonald said a botfly puts a larva in you for a week to come out, and it comes out as a fly.
Nice. Have they paid
Copper hour wood turnings on.
Right, Rob. Have they get charged rent? Right, so second coat. You can put several coats this over, and that just brings up the sheen a little bit better each coat. So just I'll buff this with our second coat. Like we always say, you don't need to push hard on your tissue. You do, you just burnish off the wax. So there you go. 2 coats is enough. So there's the bottom of our bowl, our basic bowl. Nice and shiny. Let's get it out and have a look, see if I can get it without dropping it.
William Kenny's on.
Hi, William. So put it on this camera. No, not that camera, Stephen, this camera. It's one of those days today. So there you go. Nice little bit of spalting in there.
Finished, is it? Right.
Yeah, all done.
Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. See
Thanks
you
for
next
coming
week.
over. Thanks for coming over.
I wish.
Right, so just do the inside quickly. So obviously not too tight because we've only got that 3mm mortise in there. So what we're going to do is, I'm not going to make the wall no thicker or no thinner than about 5mm. Don't need to be really, really thin. So we're just gradually going to take this out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave some bits in the middle because we're going to take the wall down. That'll stop some of the vibration. So this is all going to be push cutting.
Steve Fleming says, nice piece of wood.
Thank you. So remember, when you start, keep your handle low till you find it. You get to the start, and you just gently let it feed itself in.
John McDonald said you can't argue with that shine.
No, it's I do like the Hampshire wax. You do get a nice shine with it.
Benjamin said he can remember watching a video in school where a guy was stuck in the rainforest and have multiple bumps on his arms where maggots were growing under his skin.
Oh, nice.
TF Turnan's on.
Hi, Tim. All right, so let's just flatten this off because it's a little bit out of shape. There's just a few little shear cuts just to flatten that edge off. Just going to put a little bit of a return on that edge. So that's got a slight slope into the bowl. And now we can start finishing off and getting our depth we want. I'm just going to stop that and see where I've got thick bits, where I've got thin bits. Because what we'll do now is I want to finish this top half of the bowl.
Colin Izzard wants to know what grind is that gouge.
45 column. I want to finish this part of the bowl now before I take this out of here, because if not I'll get loads of vibration up here. So I just need to refine that a little tiny bit. We've got a little bit of a thick bit there, so we're just going to refine that a little tiny bit.
Brian was Wood Creation said, is that one of the pieces he gave you for your birthday?
No, Barry, that's not, no.
And we've got Glenn Teagle on.
Hi Glenn,
He said he's just joined, not heard of him before.
Welcome, hope you enjoy. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of this back, so I can just get around that corner a little bit better. But remember, don't go in and catch your wing on that other, the one in front of it, because you'll end up getting a catch. Right, so what I'll do now is a nice fine cut, my last fine cut. So nice and steady, plenty of speed without doing that.
Colin, Wood Rooster by Colin said, are you going to treat Brian to a nice rolled over rim?
Rounded rim, you mean? We had this discussion the other night. Right, so I'm just going to change that to traditional grind now, just to finish that. Get that off, finish it off.
TF Turner says captive ring.
Any more talk like that, Tim, we'll kick you out.
Matt's wood shop's on.
Hi Matt, how you doing? It's better, I can see now. Right, fairly equal there now. Actually, I could just lose a little bit more out of there, I think.
You can hear that again, can't you?
Yeah.
That's right, I'll get hot for you.
Well, no, don't turn it off. Just do it so.
Turned it off. I've turned it, but I can't. I've lowered the chair a bit, and I don't know.
Right, so that's about the thickness we want. So we're just gonna clean this rim up where I messed up. Right, so now we're going to take this middle bit out. So we're going to go back to our finger grind to take this middle bit out.
Terry said, is it looking a bit deep there, Steve?
Nah, all right, Terry.
Copperell said the badge is asking a funnel question.
But we'll soon find out.
What time's Grand Prix on today?
It's not until this evening, I think. Qualifying was on at 6:30 last night, I think. So. Right, so we're just going to do one final push across the bottom there with our traditional grind.
Michael McEwen's on.
Hi Michael, how are you? So we've curved it down, which is fairly equal, into our flat and followed our flat through the bottom. So there we have our shape. Nothing high tech. So what we'll do now is get it sanded up. I'm going to use a power sander to sand this up. Because we've got a little bit of tear out in there, I'm going to start from 80 grit.
Steve Fleming said, "Happy Funnel Sunday, Steve."
No, you should have a little bit of faith.
Who's Faith?
She's that woman next door. So I'm just going to use 80 grit to get rid of all our tool marks and that little bit of tear out we've got. Try and keep that transition at the bottom there as a nice little gentle curve. Just check that. A little bit of tear out in there, which we've still got. Which, other than that, not too bad. Yeah, that little bit of tear out in there. Try and use the flat of your sanding pad, not the edge, because you'll end up putting a divot or bump into it. You want to try and keep using the flat of your sanding pad to prevent it, really. Just check, make sure we got rid of that. No, just a little tiny bit there. Bit soft in that corner.
Ian Cook is on. Everyone's talking about the heat.
I can't hear you.
Ian Cook is on.
Hi,
He
Ian.
said, "Everyone's talking about the heat. I'm considering putting my heating on here in Northern Ireland."
Not bad, is it, Ian?
I'm moving my mic because the thing blowing on it.
Bit of dark green. I thought there was a little tiny hole coming there. That's not. It's a bit of dark green.
Not got your glasses on.
Yeah, I've got them on. I've got them on if I can't see. Yeah, we're there. All the them two little wormholes are there. Not a lot I can do about them. But
Can't you fill them with anything?
well, I could put a little bit of brown super glue in them, I suppose. I suppose I could put a little bit of brown super glue in them. I'll finish the outside now, and I so I'll leave them. They're £10 holes, aren't they? That's what people call them. Right, so let's move up the grits now to sand this up to 240 grit. So now we've got rid of all our tool marks and everything else. Just a quick sand up through the grits now.
Glenn says it's 29 degrees in Hull.
Who said that?
Glenn Teagle in Hull. Benjamin said the cam vac doesn't go on in this weather.
No? Why not, Ben? Can't sand without your cam back on. So that was 180, last one 240. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold that on there just to take that sharp edge off of there. So there we are, sanded up to...
John Scarborough's on.
Right, John. So sand up to 240 grit. Sand and sealer. This is where you'll see it pop. All the nice colours will come out. So we're going to do exactly the same as we did on the outside. Give it a coat, denib it, and then give it another coat. So we're going to denib it, just to take that raised grade down. And then we're going to give it another coat, just to seal it. So now we're ready to Yorkshire grit that.
I ain't singing.
Thank God for that. So nice generous coat.
Michael McKeown said they're finally getting some spring-like weather in Canada. It's looking like 15 degrees C here this AM.
That's good. It's supposed to be a heat wave here next week. It's supposed to be 30 degrees, I think, on Tuesday here.
On Monday.
Monday, is it?
Amy's got a long pyjamas on, socks, a beanie, and 5 blankets on her.
Oh, blimey, you got to put the heating on, Amy.
John Scarborough said that's a lovely bit of wood, Steve.
Thank you, John.
Amy's singing Yorkshire Grit song.
So who's going to Harrogate in November then? Anybody in the chat going to Harrogate in November?
You're not allowed. I'm not letting you go.
Okay, I won't go then.
You're grounded. For being a cheap date last night.
Cheap date? I wasn't a cheap date at all. You had what you wanted.
Not a, no, what do you call it? A tightwad. That was the word.
I wasn't a tight
No,
one at
I'm
all.
joking. It's nice to get out. Well, and then all the rubbish that come with it. Terry said, you know, when your shed's too small, when you have to put the tools through the window to turn. Barry's Wood Creation said he's going to Harrogate. Oh, guess who's going?
Who?
Terry, TJ Turning. Can you believe it?
Really? It's Terry going.
Ian Cook said, nope, not me. Colin said, sadly, too far for him to go.
I think Barry's staying in the same hotel as us, to be honest.
You? I don't know if I'm going yet. Don't get your hopes up.
I'm going to do a nationwide poll. See if people want you to be there. We'll do a Nikki.
It's not so much that. It's commitments here, thank you.
Commitments here.
Well, unlike you, I have my children to think about.
Well, I was thinking
And
about them.
if
They're
the
adults now.
youngest one is dependent on work, depends on whether she can get there and what the oldest one is doing. The oldest one might not even be living here then.
Well, Casey can go stay with them for the weekend.
Yeah, she can, but she's still got to get to work.
Her older sister can be the mum for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But we could have like a spot the Nikki at Harrogate.
Yeah, great.
Right, Yorkshire grit, all sanded, all done with Yorkshire grit, nice and smooth. So.
Oh, Benjamin Top Gun was amazing.
It was.
Loved it. It was just
Action-packed from
fantastic.
start to finish.
Yeah, brilliant. What, go see the new Jurassic one now? The girls want to go to that one, so got to try and sort it when we can get them, everyone together to go, I think.
Together, we want to go together. Right, so again, we're going to do exactly the same as we did with the other one. We're going to give this a couple of coats to bring out that sheen.
Mark Stroughton's on.
Hi, Mark, how you doing? Hope you're well.
Todd said beautiful bowl.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a good movie, John. We thought we weren't going to get to go to the cinema to see it because we'd left it so late, and just happened we managed to be free. So, Vince Kerrigan said Nikki will need loads of carrots. And
Yeah.
yes, Terry, I did see what you put. Charlie Taylor's on, said lovely oil, Steve.
Right, Charlie, that's, thank you. We're using Hampshire Sheen High Gloss Wax to finish it.
Did you contact Thingy about the van?
Trevor?
Yeah.
No, not yet. You can message Abby if you want.
Hmm?
You can message Abby if you want.
No, you can do it, sure. Sort it out.
So final coat. Nice and buff it, buff it, buff it. I'm going to use some safety cloth on this one, if I can open the packet.
TF10 said, I wasn't planning on going, but the ticket price difference compared to makers would nearly pay for the fuel to get there. Long.
Yeah, there is a big difference. The tickets, I don't know, the tickets are not on sale until August, I think, though.
Be a shame if you couldn't get one, wouldn't it?
I'm going no matter what. I'm going to, even if
Well,
I
even
go,
if you don't get a ticket.
yeah, I'll just stand outside the door and talk to people. I miss makers. I'm not going to miss Harrogate as well.
Makers was your choice.
Yeah, it was. But I made the choice of going to Harrogate rather than Makers because Harrogate is more for the Woodturner, where Makers is more for the YouTube and thing. So a piece of safety cloth just to buff this up with. As always, you don't need to put any pressure on it. Just let the friction of the cloth do all the work.
So Brian's put, don't forget the makers t-shirts for this year's charity. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. Terry Bray said, that's looking great, Steve.
Thank you, Terry. See, I listen to you, Terry, when you teach people stuff.
Chris Dodd said the bowl's nice. Wedgwood Works, beautiful bowl, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
You all right?
I agree, Steve. I'm just going for the crake.
Who's that? Who's that?
Brian.
Brian.
Um,
It's just a good excuse to meet up with everybody.
Amy said, anytime someone says Harrogate, I hear Alexi Sale in the young ones saying in a Scouse accent, welder pipe fitter from Harrogate.
Right.
Is Brian coming over to Harrogate, is he?
He is. A bit of tissue stuck to it there. Look. What's going on there? That's better. A little bit of tissue stuck on there. Alright, so there we go. Just blow the wax out of my bug hole. And I think we are done. Look at that, a bowl in an hour. Chucky. So, what camera are we on? Let's put it on this camera. That camera. Yeah, that camera. Alright, so here we go. Nice little spalted beach bowl. Only got a little bit of spear in it, spaltering in it.
Mark said he's been told Mark Strawn said he's been told they're going to Harrogate too.
Ah, good.
Copper Eye said beautiful bowl. Amy said lovely bowl. Colin said, when will the new t-shirts be coming out?
Won't be till December, mate. Because
Terry's got to go shopping.
We do 12 months. See you later, Terry. We do 12 months for the amount of money, for the money people pay for the logo to be on the t-shirt. So it won't be till December. So there we go. Finished with Hampshire Sheen High Gloss Wax. Sanded up to 240, then done with Yorkshire Grit. But don't forget the sand and seal first before you use Yorkshire Grit. And then it's waxed, 2 coats of wax to give us a nice sheen on it. Nice, got a nice shine on that. It's a nice piece. Nice bit of wood. Show me about the little wormholes in it.
Right, I'm going to go, Steve, because I need to get on with this stuff. Take care, everyone, and speak to you again next week. Bye for now.
Right, so hang on, let me just get rid of my smock. Right, come back. Just like that, turn them lights off. Right, so as Ryan mentioned earlier, make a shirt, pin to the top, just in case anybody's interested. Let me just clean this camera because it's all full of dust. So any trouble with a fan on it, blows the dust everywhere. So yeah, links pinned to the top if you would like a maker shirt. If you're in the US and would like to order a maker shirt, make sure you click the correct area. If not, it's going to come from the UK and it could take a little while to get there. Also, like Wayne said the other night, if you want a bigger size, because I think it only goes up to 2XL in UK, if you require a bigger size, then if you click on the US site, then they do bigger sizes, but again, it's going to take longer to come to the UK because obviously it's got to come from the US. But they can, there are bigger sizes if need be. So, John Scarborough, a matter of interest, Steve, what price would you put on that lovely bowl? I would put on that bowl around about, because it's got a nice bit of feature in it. Shame it's got the holes in it, really. A couple of little wormholes in. I don't know if you can see them. A couple of little wormholes there. If I was at a craft fair, I'd sell that for, well, I'll try and get 30 quid for it, hoping to get 25. Because it's only a piece of spotted beech. It's not an exotic wood. Got them two little holes in it, which knock a little bit of value off of it. But I'd have it up for 30 quid. But I wouldn't take any less than 25 for it. So, yeah. But some people will say it's too cheap. But me personally, I'd rather get rid of it knowing it's bringing money into the channel, because I only obviously sell stuff to bring money into the channel, than having it sit here for months on end doing nothing. I've got bowls everywhere that I'm trying to get ready for a craft fair I've got in August. So yeah, it's that's what it is. Any more questions quickly before we go? Hi, Roy. Roy, you're late. We're going, mate. Bye. Oh, radar. I don't know. I don't know what the. Ask Siri. Go on the internet and ask Siri what 30 pound. Oh, I'll do it here quickly. US to Great British pounds. US to Great British pounds. So we go 30. That's $36.9. Radar. That's what comes up on Google anyway. Yeah, there you go. So anyway, if anybody's interested in any of the pieces I turn, message me and we'll talk about it. Obviously, all the pieces I turn would be for sale. They only sit on a shelf until I have a craft fair. But if anybody likes any pieces who would be interested in buying them, then message me, because obviously they're all for sale. Because if not, it's the way I fund the channel. So or would like to fund the channel. So message me. So anyway, don't forget Brian's on. Brian's on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I don't know if anybody's covering Terry's place tomorrow lunchtime. Just keep an eye out. If anybody's going to do it, there'll be a live link pop up. So other than that, I think that's about it. Don't forget, we're doing the makers auction. The Facebook page is up and running. Thanks to everybody who's joined recently. There's quite a few people joined the Facebook page, so thank you very much for that support. And over the next few days or weeks, I'm going to be putting more and more information on about people, what things we've got donated, what prizes we've got, how the auction's going to run, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. So there's plenty of time. We're not going to do the auction until the 21st of October, so plenty of time. So don't panic if I haven't contacted you yet. So be patient. And like I've always said, unfortunately, we can't take everybody's donations. I would love to, but we just physically can't spend enough time auctioning them all off. I think last time we auctioned off 10 pieces and we was nearly on for 3 hours, I think. So hopefully we're going to do the same sort of amount, but there's going to be some raffle prizes as pieces what have been donated as well. So keep your ears out and eyes open for what's going to go on, and hopefully we can get makers involved as well. So perfect. And if we can raise a few quid for the UK Dementia Trust, absolutely excellent. So other than that, I'm going to go short live today, only a simple little bowl. I'll stick some pictures up on Facebook after or on social media afterwards to just show pictures of it. Like I said, it's mainly for the basic turn or the beginner turner. It's nice just to show a little bit, or share a little bit of experience, and just enjoy it is the main thing. Don't spend loads of times worrying about your presentation. Well, obviously presentation is important, but don't spend loads of time worrying about having to take multiple cuts to get the shape you want. Just concentrate on enjoying it, and every time you turn, every time you use the tool, learn from that experience. The more you have experience and the more time you spend on the tools, the better you'll get. And that's what I've always said to everybody: practice makes perfect. So other than that, I'm going to go, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy this lovely heat, and I'll speak to you guys next week. Don't forget, Brian tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Other than that, take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Thanks for coming over.
That's all, folks.